Rebel Moon, Part 1, A Child of Fire. Finally, Kyle, finally, space opera is back on the menu. Aren't you pleased?
Yeah, I don't know about back on the menu. It certainly is a sight to behold. It's got quite the train wreck, the fire part underlined, dumpster fire.
See, I had hope, okay, because the critics hated this movie, and yet for once in my life, I am in lockstep with the critics. This movie deserves a 22% Rotten Tomatoes. It does. It is awful. It is a disjointed mess with... Actually, you know what? We'll explain the scenario first to feature why this movie, apparently having a 70% audience score, is some sort of mass delusion. Some sort of... this must be data gathered from the insane asylum wing of the Teletubbies hospital, okay? Because there is no way you watch this movie and you come away feeling good about it. Unless you entered the cinema and just brained yourself on the door, just smash, 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 until you were in pretty lights, colors.
Flashy, random scenes, disjointed, slow motion randomly.
So, it starts in a little village, and this is one of the big sins as well. Zack Snyder has seen The Lord of the Rings, and so he starts in the Shire. Zack Snyder has seen Vikings, and so it's populated by Vikings.
Yup.
And then the bad guys arrive, the evil Imperium, in their massive evil empire ship. And our main character, our female protagonist, is like, Empire bad, evil Empire. Give them whatever they want and hope they leave. And the village chief, the Viking chief, is like, got it, we'll give them nothing.
We'll give them nothing. And she looks at them and goes like, nods her head like, yeah, that's what I said, I think.
Yes. Yes. Oh my god, yes. It's so... And the bad guys arrive, and you know what? I actually like the main uniform design of the bad guys. That's pretty nice. But they arrive in their gunships, and they're flying over kilometers of tilled, beautiful, deep, dark, rich earth, stretching as far as the eye can see. Like, this is obviously, to anyone with eyes to see, a bountiful area. And they land, and they're like, so we're in a extended deployment here, and we're gonna need some food. Could you provide? And the chief is like, no, we don't grow food here.
We don't have any food.
Yeah.
And like the bad guy looks around, looks at the farm fields, looks at him, looks at the well-fed fat children, looks back at him, is like, wait, are you sure you don't have any food? You look pretty well fed. No, it's been a hard season.
Yep.
Looks at like fat women, looks back at him. It's like, not so sure about that.
Winters have been pretty rough recently. Pats his giant belly.
Looks at the massive overstuffed food storehouse, looks back at him, is like,
And this continues for like 5 minutes of this chief just lying him straight to his face again and again. And he keeps pointing out, those women are awfully fat for starving. Oh, harsh life.
Harsh life, women are fat, rip.
Like, seriously though, we'll pay you. We'll triple the cost, okay? You can buy fancy robots. You won't have to till the soil, because, if it's so hard tilling the soil here, you gotta be worn out, right? You need some automatic labor to till this awful soil. No, we do it all by hand. It makes us feel closer to nature.
Yep, it's a science fiction setting, you see, and we till it like we're medieval farmers because we're just old school. We want to be connected to the land, you see.
And again, the bad guy just looks at me like, so, you grow enough food for your entire community with hand tools and scythes, but you don't have no food.
You don't have no food. And as they waddle up there, eventually one of the other villagers is like, well, we actually do have food, and, we could sell it.
Yeah, like,
And then the village chief is like looking at him like, oh shit.
like, boss man, this is getting ridiculous.
Like, just tell him the truth, man. And he's like, boss man doubles down instead. He's like, no, he knows nothing of what he's talking about. I'm doubling down.
The lie for, I think, the 6th or 7th time at that point. And finally, the bad guy's like, okay, priest person, give me the stick. You know the stick. And priest like, here's the stick, sir. Thank you.
2 good thwacks to the head, and he kills the chieftain. Because the chieftain lied to this military officer, like, for the entire walk up. Because when they enter the village, they do a hug, like, oh, you know, God save the empire, God save the empire. And they waddle up there, and he's like, oh, you can have an ale and all that. And this motherfucker has the audacity to be like, so, yeah, there's no food. But how about that ale? And the military officer, he's had enough with the insult.
Again, it's like, okay, so you don't grow any food here. Yeah, that's correct. But you've had enough surplus to make ale out of your crops. Yes?
Yeah.
100% justified. Him beating that fucker to death was 1000% justified.
Honestly, I was rooting for the military officer. He's like, yeah, no, he had that coming. He was an idiot. Like, you were told that you should give them whatever they want. You were warned that they were dangerous. And what do? You were like, I'm not giving you anything. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not compromising. We have nothing. I'm lying to your face over and over and over again.
It's such an unbelievably dumb scene. And it just keeps going. And the worst part is, because afterwards he's like, okay, I'm gonna need 10,000 bushels of food. And they're like, but sir, we only produce 12,000. Yeah, I'm paying you triple. Go buy more food. There are other settlements. You yourself talked about other settlements. They even talked about how the animals were coming in so they could hunt them, and they were just like 3 days away. They fed the entire village on one of these animals. This village is in no problems from food here. If they get triple the payment, they will be able to buy whatever they goddamn will. If they had just given the man the fucking food, this movie would not have happened.
Yeah, unironically, the entire point of the conflict is that the military threatens the village. That is the big thing. And the issue here is that the only reason why that happens is because the village literally asks for it.
Yes, and that's why we're spending so much time on this one scene too, because it's just, I want to.
It's the only part with story too.
The movie only exists because of this absolute utter joke of a premise. And obviously, they leave behind their rapiest soldiers who immediately lock eyes with the young girls in the village, and it's like, I like him, just that age, just strong enough to fight back.
Yeah, like a little bit of, they say that, like, I like it, so they a little bit of struggle. It's like, what the fuck? You know that's gonna result in a disaster right then and there.
Yep, and so obviously they try to gang rape the village girl, and the hero chick beats up an entire squad of soldiers, none of which fire their goddamn weapons at her.
Yes, there's a scene in which she is fighting these soldiers, right? And the hero, and there's a guy who's holding the village girl, aiming his gun at her, and he has a clear line of shot, and they try to blur him out in the background, but he has a clear line of shot at her, like 4 or 3 times in that fight scene, and he just never takes a shot.
Again and again. And the worst part is, they shoot it in such a way as to demonstrate that he has a perfect shot at her. Whew.
Yes. And the only way they're able to deal with that guy is that the robots, who, by the way, have sworn an oath, not sworn an oath, but have become pacifists, these robots that serve the king, who is now dead, by the way, they don't fight. But then this robot shoots him. So it's like, okay, so there's a princess here or something, because they have broken their little oath thing again.
Yes, because the princess is in the village, and the princess has ultimate authority over the robots, and she's going to be like, I'm your princess, and the robots is going to defeat the evil empire. The robot even blushes when she touches him, because, of course.
Yep.
And this then spirals out of control because, okay, you just murdered the entire squad. Now, the squad can't contact their ship. They weren't left with radios or anything, so the ship apparently has no idea this village just killed their entire squad of soldiers. So they've got 9 weeks to gather a posse of die-hard warrior dudes to help them defend their village against the enemy capital warship.
That specializes in bombarding planets. I want to add raising planets.
Yes. Okay, there's...
From orbit.
And it just gets... There's another scene. Okay, there's a bunch of Jar Jar Binkses from Star Wars. Or they're like the Admiral Akbar aliens, right?
Yeah, like weird, like fishy-looking weird things.
Yes. And they've been giving succor and protection to the resistance, the terrorists that the evil empire have been sent to root out. And he admits it to the evil empire officer. So, yeah, we kept the terrorists here. And the evil empire officer just incredulously is like, you sheltered the enemy I'm looking for. Why are you confused that I'm shooting at you?
Yes. Because he's like, but we have honor and charity. And he's like, charity to my enemy.
Yes. I have guns. I don't care about your...
He takes his super Chad stick. By the way, the main antagonist of this movie uses a stick to beat people to death. It's great.
Which is pretty good.
It's the only good thing.
I think
they have lasers and stuff, but they use the stick to kill people.
He only uses the stick when forced to, okay? Like the village chief who lied to his face again and again, stick. The stupid fish thing who's like, why so you should do this? You should cringe. Smash.
You should bombard cringe and then bonk.
You should bombard cringe. Smack. That would have been better dialogue. Why so you should do this to me, sir world? You should bombard cringe. Baseball bat.
He just clubs people to death. But they all deserve it. That's the worst part. There's not a single person this guy has killed. There's a comical moment when he captures like one of the rebel dudes, and he's like, "You're gonna set me free, right?" And then he's like, "Yes, I'll set you free." And then he kills him, you know. And it's like, oh my god, he's free. And Arch is sitting there laughing. He's like, "He's free, Kyle. Get it? Because he's dead." And I'm like, shut the fuck up.
It's one of those scenes where it's so obvious. If I tell you everything I know, you'll set me free. And he cocks a weapon as he says it. Yeah.
Yes. the tool to execute people in that device. They cock it in front of him, and he's like, "Oh, okay. So I'm just gonna tell you everything." He's like, "What? Why don't let me free?" It's like, dude, it's pretty obvious I was gonna kill you no matter what.
Oh. The movie is just a cavalcade of absolute ridiculousness. Every part of it is studiously retarded. Okay. So the main character, plot point, the princess, she's not only the bestest, goodest person to have ever been a good girl ever, right? To the point where even the king, talking to her bodyguards, like, "Yes, I know I'm a genocidal, warmongering, tyrannical maniac that has subjugated thousands of worlds and killed trillions of people. But I think my child's a pretty chill girl and will probably fix all of this.
All the problems and mistakes I've made, I can no longer feel anything. But she'll fix the empire."
Yep. She'll be pretty progressive when she comes to power.
Yep. Trust me on that one.
And to hammer it home, they're in the forest because it's snowing. It's winter. Everything is pure white because she's pure white. And her evil bodyguard is dressed in black because of fucking course she is.
It's so, like, the symbology breaks your nose in this. And there's a scene where the dog, her big black hound, goes to kill a bird, right?
Yep.
And brings back the dead bird. And she takes up the dead bird, and what does she do? She brings it back to life because she's literally God.
Like, up until this point, there has been no sign in this movie whatsoever that any form of magic was possible. None. And yet she picks up a bird that has recently been mauled by a 250-pound genetically engineered cyber mastiff thing, and she just magics it back to life again. And the worst part of this isn't even the fact that she's like, oh, it's dead. It's alive again now. It's the fact that her bodyguard looks at this miracle of necromancy and goes, you know, sometimes that child did some stuff I couldn't explain.
Yeah, because this is all a flashback, and that's what she says. She's like, she did things I just can't explain. It's like, she just resurrected a little bird. Yeah, I can explain it.
as if she acted weird at the dinner table. You know, she pulled a dollar from behind my ear, and I just couldn't explain it. Like,
God, magic! I don't understand.
But this thing is, this actually fits perfectly into her character because she's legitimately brain damaged.
Oh God, yes.
Because she has another conversation later.
Oh no. Yes, she has a conversation with the smarmy rogue, or what do you call him? El Bandito, that joins the party, has questionable motives and several red flags on him whether or not he's loyal or not. And to further hammer the point home, right before the end of the movie, he goes up to her and is like, I have no honor, like, at all. Like, I just have no honor. Like, I am a terrible person. And she's like, oh, so you're gonna stop being a terrible person now? Yes. Yes, I am.
But
I need to detour to this weird place real quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I want to make a clean break with my thieving, traitorous, a dishonorable past. So, could we just, put this rebellion on hold for 5-6 whilst I pop over here to this military installation? It's, a little delivery. And she smiles as he leaves, and I'm thinking, like, she's just giggling in her little brain-damaged mind, like, hee, I'm the delivery, aren't I?
We're delivery boys,
And okay. We've even skipped the other party. Okay, so they gather party members. They gather up the rogue who's like, I fight for money. It's like, we don't have any. Oh, that's cool. I'll come with you anyways. Okay.
I'll take whatever you can pay me. Don't worry about it. I'm a scoundrel, but I wouldn't, I don't want to impose.
Yeah. That would be awfully rude of me. I'll help you out though. Okay. Do you know any like warrior types? Oh yeah, I know this guy called Tarzan. He's enslaved by a fat white dude on a desert planet. Okay.
Okay. Let's go get Tarzan. And this motherfucker looks like Tarzan. I kid you not.
So they ask the fat white masters, like, so what do you want from me? 30,000 silly money. Like, we don't have that. Oh, if he rides my bird, he can be free.
Oh, okay.
All right.
This is what they say. That's a pretty dumb deal. Like, you don't really gain anything from this. He's like, no. Not really.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of an idiot.
Like, I got this hippogriff in my yard, and he's eating the rest of my servants. So if you could make him chill.
Also, kind of want to ride him around and stuff a little bit.
And so we get to Zack Snyder has seen Avatar.
Yes.
As Tarzan just goes into the pen with this raging beast, and he starts speaking to it. He talks bird. He talks fluid bird. And bird understands. Bird, which name starts with B, by the way, is my name starts with B. I'm afraid of myself, my own shadow. Oh, my name is Bucephalus, isn't it? You have long hair. Could you be Alexander? Oh, God. Zack Snyder has seen Alexander.
Zack Snyder has seen a lot of things. There's so many scenes in this movie that are referential. There's a cantina that's just like Star Wars.
Yes.
There's a scene where there's an invasion by the Imperium of man, basically touching another world, and there's a banner that the main character waves in her memory, and it looks just like the Astra Militarum flag.
The greatest failing of this entire movie is that it has created nothing. This is not a universe. This is a grab bag of Zack Snyder. Thinks this would look pretty snazzy.
Pretty much. He also likes the Gladiator, believe it or not.
Oh, yes.
It hurts, Arch.
It is. Oh, the Gladiator scene. Yeah. the one character that gets some build up, the one character was like, oh yeah, he's like a general or something. We gotta go rescue him.
We gotta rescue him, yeah.
There's the scene where they look up at the Colosseum. That's in there. The scene where they drag out the defeated gladiator by his ankles. That's in there. And just to hammer home the point, Zack Snyder likes Gladiator so much, he hired the guy from Gladiator to play a gladiator.
He did. He hired the guy who played the Nubian warrior.
Yep. And he's really sad. Like, he wants to die. That's why he's fighting in the gladiatorial arena like a drunkard, because I got 10,000 of my men killed on a point of retarded principle. I want to die. And then a woman comes like, dude, they deserve to die. Really? Yes. Oh. Well.
Yeah, they were...
Shit.
Now that you put it that way, I feel better. And then that's how his character arc to join. See, unlike Tarzan actually had to at least ride the burb, and there was like a little bit of like screen time. Some of these characters get nothing. There's like this weird like Asian lady with lightsabers that they introduced later too.
Oh yes, because Zack Snyder thinks it would be snazzy to have an Asian lady fight a spider.
He just doesn't like spiders, you see.
She's got Jedi swords, which she doesn't use up until later on, because, you know, the spider is nice, I guess.
Yep, they start their fight where she's like using her blades and she's getting her ass kicked, and then she's like, actually, I forgot to turn on my laser beams on my blades. It's like, oh, okay. So why didn't you do that in the beginning, Zack Snyder? You're trying to make these characters look cool, but it looks really lame. They also look really incompetent and stupid.
It doesn't. The spider too is like, oh, so I'm gonna kill this child here, and Chinese woman is like, no, you can't kill children. It's mean. But this mining world that I apparently live on is being mined. I know, and the toxic fumes are like making me cough and shit. Like, yeah, that sucks, but you can't kill children. But I want to. Yeah. You still can't.
I'm gonna kill children because my children coughed and died. So you're gonna kill other children? Yes, that's my...
That's my grand plan.
It's not the best plan, but it's my only plan.
Listen, I'm a woman. I'm not supposed to be very reasonable, okay? So can I kill the child now? No.
It was a woman spider, okay. Yeah, that's true.
From just beginning to end, it is... Oh my god. It will never end, okay? So the traitor betrays the heroes and captures them all. They're all captured by the 100% white bad guys, by the way.
Yes.
An incredibly diverse group of heroes are all captured by the all-white Nazi empire of this universe.
They are all white. They do have the alt-right haircut to boot as well.
And the capture goes perfectly, flawlessly. They got them dead to rights. They got them tied up in their spider torture contraption. Like, they've won. It is over. It is beyond over. And so the bad guy, the traitor, looks to the one good white person on the team. He goes like, I really wanted to fuck the girl you love, but now I can't, so I'm gonna try and like cause you some cuckold pain, okay? Here's the key to the lady's restraints. It's also a gun, incidentally. Please kill the woman you love, and don't unlock her thing, because then we'll all die.
Yes, and also, this little thing is very dangerous, so don't kill me with it.
He demonstrates it. He cocks the weapon and fires it once to go like, see, this is the shooty end. That's really dangerous. Don't point it towards me. Point it towards the woman you love instead.
Yeah, I don't want to die to this thing. That would be really unfortunate if there was a scene where I died from this.
And so weirdly, the guy decides like, okay, I can kill the woman who's finally kind of hinted that she might let me do her, or I can kill that obnoxious blonde dude.
Who's probably gonna kill me.
Yes! Who's probably gonna kill him. And there's this scene where they're like, oh my god, is he gonna kill her? Is he gonna kill her? No, he isn't gonna kill her.
There's no reason. Like, the fake outs in this movie are terrible.
They're absolutely awful. Because at no point is there any suspense there. Because, alright, if he pulls the trigger, she's just dead. Like, it's just game over, man. And so he can't. And he is handed a loaded weapon whilst the bad guy is right behind him.
Yeah, it makes no sense why the bad guys do this either. Because the problem is Zack Snyder has written himself into a point where the bad guys have won. There's no reason they shouldn't win this. And so they need to have the good guys win, so they have to literally hand them the key and a weapon.
Yes. Hand him the key and a weapon, and also defy gravity a couple of times, yes. Our resident or opposition hero, the Blood Axe dude, he punches straight through a armor glass cockpit on what I can only assume to be some sort of heavy assault landing ship with his spear, because Zack Snyder does also like black people with spears. And we won't elaborate any further on that. And kills the gunner. The gunner shoots him twice at point-blank range with their weapons that fire fist-sized chunks of molten metal, incidentally. Everyone else in the movie that's been shot by this has died instantly. Our hero, however, takes 2 of them to the chest and still finds the energy to lift his spear and kill the pilots.
Yep, incidentally, wiping out all their forces as well, conveniently.
Oh my god. Oh, I just reminded myself too, Kyle. Zack Snyder likes slow-mo.
Oh my god, he does! There is a scene in this friggin' movie where they're getting off a spaceship to go to a planet to talk to another character to recruit to the party, and as they're getting out, it's in slow-mo for no reason.
Like every time they leave the ship, seemingly, it's in slow.
It's like slow-mo. And then, like, Zack Snyder's like, I don't know how to make this cool. Make the cape flutter a little. It's like wow. The fight scenes have way too much slow-mo. Like, all the time. Which makes the action feel dumb a lot of the times.
I mean, it looks pretty, if nothing else, I guess.
Slow-mo can be done right, to accentuate a scene or tension, but the issue is I think Zack Snyder just likes slow motion a little too much.
There's also next to no tension, because the only persons who die is the obvious traitor, the Blood Axe dude, and that's it. Yeah.
As far as...
Because even the bad guy, who is thrown off a floating platform to land 100 meters down on the solid cliff face, he is brought back aboard his ship. He's thrown into a Skype call with his massa, who's like, you had them. Like, you had a loaded gun to the back of all 5 of their heads, and you still fucked this up. Please elaborate as to how you did that.
As to how you did that. And he goes like, oh, well, get him next time. And he's like, he looks at the script, he's like, I should just fire you, but the script says you gotta be in the next movie. So I guess you'll get a slap on the wrist. Do better in the second movie.
Yes. So he gets pulled out of the Skype call, and the Adeptus Mechanicus adepts around are like, so, is he good? It's like, no heartbeat, no brain signature.
He's dead.
I mean, he has massive internal bleeding. There's that enormous stab wound in his chest. His arm is broken in like 6 places. Fucking dead.
He got clubbed in the face. He's got head trauma. He fell 100 feet and hit bedrock. Well, right. He's got internal bleeding all over the place. What do we do? Just electrocute him a little.
Yes. The other Magos is like, all right, I've seen this before. Just run like 20,000 volts through him. It'll fix him right up. And it does. It actually does. His broken arm, fine. His heart, fine. His lack of brain activity, fine. His massive internal injuries, his massive trauma, the stab wound through his chest, he's good. He's fine.
No better.
The fact that his lungs must have been collapsed by the stick shoved through his chest. No, he wakes up screaming. He's good.
He's like, ah, and he's angry, and then it cuts to black because you're supposed to be like, oh, he's back. He's gonna get revenge.
Well, we can at least take solace in the fact that night he must have hate-fucked his pet tentacle monster extra hard.
Oh no! Don't remind me of that. So yeah, there's a scene in which they show them what the bad guy does, right? So we can see how bad he is, as you do in movies. And there's like wiggling tentacles in the background. I'm like, are those tentacles? And Archie's like, yep, those are tentacles. And like as he's walking around talking like, I'm a bad guy and I have bad plans. And his secretary's like, yeah, you're pretty bad and stuff. And then he like leans back, and then the tentacles grab him and start like touching him, and he's like, "All right, I'll like get back to you, but I need to have some really weird tentacle sex real quick."
I gotta have this tentacle monster I keep in my room, screw me up the various orifices. I don't even know. Zack Snyder has a weird fetish.
He has a couple. He's got a couple. They're barely disguised fetishes in this movie.
And this is part 1. There's more yet to come. Oh, glory be.
No, I have no idea. Because the story for this movie was literally impossible. I remember asking Arch, like, Arch, what's happening? And he's like, I have no idea.
Well, the story is Starfield. It literally is. Like, they arrive at a planet, and they're like, so this one has hippogriffs, and you've got to recruit, opens journal, Tarzan. Okay, cool. And so they do that, and that's a separate story. And then they go to an industrial world. Okay, here you go. Let's see. Chinese woman named Nemesis. She's got Jedi swords. Okay, what are we going to do? She's going to kill a spider. You're going to watch. Don't intervene, by the way.
Yes. I want to point out that when they go to recruit these people, the only person they actually help is Titus. They just stand there.
Yeah, and
watch.
By help, we mean they drag his drunk-ass form off to a public lavatory, I assume, and they hose him down with an actual garden hose.
Yep, wash the grub off him. And then they give him a pep talk and like, you should feel good about yourself. And he's like, okay.
This movie is an unmitigated disaster. Like, it's 2 hours long. If it was 4 hours long, it still wouldn't make sense. Like, this, it is just a maddened grab bag of random crap that Zack Snyder has watched in the last year or so. And that is all it is.